How to set up an event using Calendly. Hey everyone and welcome. I hope you're all doing great. In this video I will show you step by step how to start with Calendly and how to create an event using it. So this is going to be pretty much like a good deal for you if you want to get started with some sort of service that you want to offer. Either is going to be in real life or online with a meeting. And you can just go ahead and set it up using Calendly, and you can actually get started for free because they do offer a free plan. Now, yes, it's not going to include everything, but it is going to be a good kickstart for us. So without further ado, I'm just going to show you exactly how to set things up, how to get started, and how to set up the event. So the first thing that you do need to have is obviously a Calendly account. So if you don't have that already, just go to calendly.com and just get started for free. Create your account and you should find yourself in the dashboard where I will meet you at. Okay, so once you finish up your signing up process, you should end up in this page right here. This is the dashboard. You should just go ahead and try things out for yourself. Set up your availability first, so you can just go to the availability tab, and in here you can just go ahead and set up how you want or when do you want to work and be able to get booked basically. So you can just go ahead and set up the days and the times. So let's say we want to work from Sunday to Thursday, and we want to have the time. I'm just going to leave it as it is, but then also we would want to also add another shift for Sunday. Maybe you can also do so from here. Just click on the plus icon, change the time, so we can just go ahead and change it to something else here, and then we would want to set this up to be 23:30. And if you want to copy it to the rest of them, you can just simply click on here and it's just going to basically copy it for the rest of them. You just want to select, so we would want it for Monday as well, Tuesday, Wednesday, and also Thursday. And we can just go ahead and apply, and there are going to be changes for all of them. Also, I like to use the AM PM version, so I would just go to settings and use this one and save changes, and we are good to go. So now how to actually go ahead and create an event after we have created our availability, which we can also go ahead and change the events. Like if we have multiple events, we can change them to specific times, and I will show you exactly how to do so. So just go to event types, which is the top option here, and you would want to go ahead and actually create a new event type from the top right here. And for the time being, I'm just going to remove this one because it's just pre-built for you to test things out with, but we don't really need that. So we can just go ahead and add a new event type. From here, you have the type of event that you want to create, whether it's going to be one-on-one, group, collective, or round robin. For the time being, if you're trying things out within the free version, you'll be able to use the one-on-one, which is the one that I'll be going for. And we will see this quite often, where you actually need to upgrade to use some sort of features, which is only fair. But we can get started with the one-on-one. Click on that, and then you would want to choose a host, which is going to be me. But if you want to invite team members, you can also do so from the top right. Now we have the new event type. We would want to give it a name, so we can just go ahead and give it a name. I'm just going to name it test event, and then from here we can just go ahead and change the color of the event. We can just make it whatever color that we have here. I'm just going to keep it as yellow, and then the duration of the actual event itself. So for example, if it's a session of a service, how long does this service take to move on to the next one? So I'm just going to leave it as 30 minutes, and then here we can just set up the location. So whether it's going to be in-person meeting or phone call or Zoom. So we can just simply select any of those. And we also have Google Meet, Microsoft Teams, or WebEx if you would like. For the time being, I'm just going to go ahead and set up the Google Meet option. But again, you can just go ahead and make it in real life. You would want to add a location and so on. So now that we have this, we can just click on continue. Just take a little bit of time. And then here we have the event details, which is the one that we have already set up. And then we have also the hosts and invitees. We can just go ahead and set this up as well. So allow invitees to add guests, whether this is going to be an option, whether you want it to be on or off. We can just go back now. And then here we have the scheduling settings. So this is going to, by default, have the same schedule that you have already set up from the availability settings in the previous section. But in here we can also set it up so that it is going to be completely different and completely unique to this specific event. So here we can just make it so that they can schedule 60 days into the future, or within a date range. If you select this, you would want to select the date range, or like indefinitely into the future. So basically it doesn't really matter when they actually book. They can actually book you like 100 years from now. So that's completely up to you. Usually you would want to go for the first option and set up, for example, a 15 days from now they can actually go ahead and book. Otherwise they're not going to have the ability to book in the 16th day basically. Just so you know, not someone who is actually going to book you from like 2026 and so on. You don't really want that. And then here to actually go ahead and set up the schedule, you would want to click here, and here you can just go ahead and set it up as you would like. So we can just go to weekly hours and set it up. Just click on edit on each one of them and just create your very own schedule. But for the time being, I'm just going to leave it as the one that I have by default. But again, you can just change it for each and every single event that you create. So now that this is done, we can actually go ahead and add buffer time. Now buffer time is going to really help us quite a lot. It's basically the time between each event. So for example, somebody booked you, how much time between them can somebody else book you? So after this is done, you have like a 30-minute break or whatever you want. So it really is going to be completely up to you. So just click on the none option here, and we can have a buffer time before an event. So we can just set it up to be 5 minutes before event. So we have a little bit of a breather before we get started. And after the event, we have, let's say we want it to be a little bit rapid. We would want to go for something like 10 minutes, meaning people cannot book you like straight after the actual previous event that not event booking that you already had. This way you can have a 10-minute break between each booking. So now that we have the buffer time, we should have it as that, and then minimum notice if you want. So basically how many hours before should they be able to book, meaning if you're okay with people booking last minute, you can just go ahead and set it up to be like completely off, or minutes, like 2 minutes before, if you're completely fine with that. But I highly suggest that you give yourself a little bit of time, so you know, yeah, you can actually process that I will have a booking in 3 hours or so on. And then daily limit, if you want to set up a daily limit of how many bookings are going to be available per day, you can also set it up from here. So we can just do, for example, 4 bookings a day. Let's just make it 5. So we can only allow up to 5 bookings per day and no more. So when 5 of them book, the booking will be closed. No one can book until, you know, the next day and the other days ahead. Now time zone display is going to be the invitees time zone, because you know it's just going to make sense for them. So just keep it as that. So do not play with this unless you know exactly what you're doing. And then these start time increments is going to be 30 minutes, but this is going to be also up to you whether you want it to be 30 minutes, 10 minutes, 15 minutes. I'm just going to set it up as 15 minutes. And then we can just go ahead and save and close. Now with that, we have even more things that we can actually go ahead and set up, like the booking page options. So we can actually go ahead and add more questions if you would like for the person who wants to book you beforehand. So we can just go ahead and set up the event link This is going to be the one that you actually want to copy and paste it into your social media so people will be able to book you. So I'm just going to leave it as test event. So here we have the questions. So name and email is going to be a part of it. Allow invitees to add guests. And then if you want to add your very own questions, you can do so from here. Add a question. So how are you? Obviously, you don't want to add this specific question, but I have no examples in my head. You can make it required, and the answer type, it could be one line, multiple lines, radio buttons, which is going to be multiple choice, or you can also have it as checkboxes as well. I'm just going to make it as one line, and you can see you have a lot of other options here to choose from. And then I'm just going to click on done, and we have this question here, and it should really it should show up for the other people here. Now, collect payment on form. I believe you actually need to upgrade to be able to collect payments, if I'm not mistaken, but you can just simply connect your Stripe or PayPal in the integrations tab in order to be able to get payments. And with that, we can just go ahead and save and close. And here we have communications. There's going to be a lot of stuff that are going to be premium only, but we can just set up the email reminders, the calendar invitation, like it's to, let me see. Okay, so we can actually set up the email reminders. I believe text reminders will require the premium, if I'm not mistaken. Probably. Okay, it seems like it does not. And then we also can set up the email follow-up, but you would want to obviously edit it before you turn it on. And then again, just save and close. And now basically we have our test event ready to go. What you would want to do, just click on share. And you would want to just go ahead and copy the link. And you can just go ahead and share it with people on your social media, wherever you want to share it. And you are pretty much good to go, and you have your event done. So hopefully you found this video to be helpful, and thanks for watching.